Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. It's midnight here in the UK. We're in the start of summer. The rain is hitting against the window. It couldn't be any more perfect for what I'm about to discuss with you today. And yes, for the observant people out there, I have shaved my head between videos. Maybe something else. My ass! Right. The CW, what a channel. It's been a source of so much enjoyment for me. And by enjoyment, of course, I mean mental anguish. As you guys, you beautiful audience, have wished and desired for me to review Batwoman for the last 3 seasons. Yeah, we won't go into what my therapy bills are for that, but it has been a great source of fun. And not only that, other terrible shows have sprouted from this absolutely pathetic network. Naomi, one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Thank God for Jane Theory to be there alongside me to at least allow me to retain some mental faculties. Subscribe to Jane Theory, folks. And then we have the upcoming Gotham Knights, a show which tried to tie itself to the video game, and then after the first trailer released, which makes it look like the shittiest shite that ever shite out of a shitter, they were forced to put out a tweet in as best way that they could possible, going, by the way, our Gotham Knights is in no way linked to the video game which is coming out, which actually has proper DC characters, and they want to make some money off. And we tried to hitch our wagon to it, and they've told us to piss off and say that it's got nothing to do with their game. It's all jokes here. I wasn't fucking laughing. But we also heard that the CW... I can't even say this with a straight face. Was up for sale. Now, I'm an old-fashioned kind of a guy. I like my sex head down, ass up. And I also like a cup of tea on a Sunday afternoon. But what I'm trying to say is, when somebody says that something is for sale, it usually involves a transaction. You either have the goods or want to purchase and procure the goods, and the other person gives it to you or you give it to them, and they give you some sort of monetary compensation. It's not quite how it's not quite how the CW is being sold. Let's just read this article from the Wall Street Journal. Oh my God. One of the most reputed magazines out there. If you, of course, just like your politics partisan. Anywho, Nexus Media Group, the nation's biggest owner of local television stations, is close to a deal to acquire majority control of the CW network from its co-owners, Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global. Oh boy. Under the terms discussed, Nexstar will acquire 75% of the CW, with Warner Brothers and Paramount each holding 12.5% stake respectively. However, Nexstar isn't expected to pay cash for the CW, but instead would assume at least a portion of the network's current losses, which could exceed $100 million. So let me just put that in layman terms for anyone, and I'm not trying to be, uppity here, but for anyone that didn't quite understand what's going on, they've been given 75% for free. Whoa, And by free, I mean they'll be acquiring the debt of the network, which could be up to $100 million. We will give you 75% stake in the CW if you please acquire a portion of our debts up to the value of $100 million. The CW, which is so successful, with such successful shows, with such an amazing viewership and such an incredible demographic targeted at young adults, all I can say is, America, I'm pretty proud of you right now, particularly the American youth. We see a lot of crap going on Twitter. We see a lot of going on TikTok, where people are going around thinking they're birds and all this kind of shit. Basically, it's narcissism and attention seeking because they've lived such a privileged life. We all have in a way such a wonderful life, free and devoid of any true and real struggle, that they've got to make it up. They've got to make up their own struggles. But clearly, the youth of America aren't interested in this shit. We saw Batwoman, the demographic, down at 0.08, 0.07 at some cases. Naomi down to 0.06 in the demo. Very similar with other shows as well. Even popular shows like The Flash, which is still going. Why? I mean, I'd say don't know, but I would speculate they have nothing to replace it with. Nothing. So anything which does above about 600,000 views an episode now is kind of being held on to. But that's just by the by. But the youth of America isn't buying into this flipping alphabety spaghetti nonsense. Over-representative inclusion and diversity bollocks, where that comes ahead of story. And then a show which is written more character-based than that nonsense, something like Superman and Lois, has actually done rather well. Comparative. Considering we are talking the CW here. Comparative. And another show which is doing comparatively well is Walker, the Texas Ranger reboot. Why? Because it's got Jared Padalecki, who has just done 15 seasons of Supernatural, and it actually has a fan base built in. But when you put something like Naomi out, one season, half a season, didn't even get a full season. And as soon as the credit rolled on the final episode, Zaslav, fuck out of here. Because they're sick and tired of this woke shit, which isn't bringing anyone in. Nobody's buying into this garbage, apart from the Looney Tunes, which are going onto TikTok and saying, hey, my pronouns are bird and finger up arse. Or whatever pronouns they want to go by. Because they're just desperate for attention, desperate for somebody to look at them, and they're not bothered how good or bad that attention is. They just want the attention. Pathetic. I would also say that is a failure of parents as well to raise their children properly. Maybe you raise them in front of a screen. Maybe you raise them in front of a computer instead of getting them out there socializing, touching grass with friends. But that's by the by, and that's a completely different byproduct of existence. But the CW, no, it couldn't even get a penny. They just had to dump it off, dump its debts, and hope. By the way, they have also said, Paramount and Warner, hey, we'll continue to make programming for you if you want. Just think, you've had to give your network away and say, please, can you take the debt along with it? But by the way, we'll still continue to make the dog shit which tanked it in the first place. Are you interested? If I was Nexstar, I would say, let me have a think about this. Oh, why don't you go fuck yourself? Why don't you take your shitty programs, bend over in the most holiest... Oh, it's no longer the holiest of months. It's July now. Damn it. And shove it where the sun don't shine. The CW, so successful, it was given away for free. And 100 million in debt to go alongside it. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.